Hey, I'm Jenna and today I will be reviewing Artificial Flowers by Rachael Smith. Artificial Flowers is about artist Siobhan trying to make it in London's art gallery scene when her brother Chris, who's a pyromaniac, comes to stay with her for the summer. Siobhan's the main character and she's fun and she's artistic. At the beginning of the book we see her at a pitch meeting. She's trying to get people at a gallery to buy her paintings or to show them, just to look at them, and they're so hipster up their own arse is probably the most accurate description of these people. Then we find her at a bar. I think it's quite interesting. I also think it's quite relatable. Struggling artists trying to make it in the world and spending most of their time drinking. Anyone else, an artist out there, kind of relate to that. It is good. I really like her character development throughout the story. So she is established straight away that her parents basically pay for her rent, they pay her allowance. That's how she can do art all the time without a job, because her parents pay for everything. So her parents turn around and are like, oh, your brother's setting fire to things again, we're very stressed, we're going to send him to you because you're so successful and you're doing so well. So her initial reaction is send him back to the facility place that he was at. She never really knows what the name is. She always kind of calls it detention centre or youth detention. She never really thinks that maybe he is struggling. She doesn't really think about it and she doesn't really ask him. So they carry on going through and she's trying to sell her art. And her bartender friend mentions you could put your art up in here. But she doesn't want to do that. She wants it in a gallery. She doesn't want it to be in a bar. And you could say that she's quite, she's sticking to her guns. She refuses to budge. She wants the best. But also she kind of doesn't really think about it either. She doesn't really go, oh, I could build myself up. She's like, no, I want to be at the top. Which I think you can relate to in a way, but also I feel like it says something about her character that she doesn't think about other avenues and she thinks that showing them in a bar or in a pub is a bit more, pedestrian. It's not as good as showing it in a proper art gallery with proper artists. The bartender then says that he's going to get her a meeting with his friend Madison, who's just opened a small gallery. Madison is the greatest. I love Madison. She's my favourite character. She is the only character in the book who has their shit together. So she sees Siobhan's work and she's like, oh, I'd love to come and see them in person. And Siobhan's like, in my flat? And she's like, if that's where they are. Very flirty and I like that. From this point, this is where the plot really takes off in regards to the characters' development and changing. I think it's really interesting to see the development that both Siobhan and Chris make throughout the book. They have ups and downs and I think they work really well together. Siobhan's is the most obvious and most drastic change, and I think it's really interesting to see how she changes. I think it's a little bit quick at the end, personally, for me. It's kind of like she sees one thing and it suddenly changes her whole perspective, while I feel like Chris's is more of a gradual thing. We do see the end result quite suddenly, but throughout the book you can see his development. In regards to the art style, I think the art is brilliant. I love Rachael Smith's art. One of her first books that I read was Flimsy's Guide to Modern Living, and this really takes that kind of simplistic way that she was drawing to a great level. Just strong outlines, bold colours, really, they have just as much detail as you need them to do. It's not overdrawn in any way, and for me, I really like that. I love the bold colour. I love the simplicity of the drawings. And I'm not saying they don't have any detail, because they do. They have interesting backgrounds. The characters are wearing interesting clothes and things like that. But it isn't each frame isn't oversaturated with so much detail that you're just going, oh, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? It's just really, really nice. It's fun. It's cartoony. It's just really good. So I totally recommend reading this book. You can find Rachael Smith on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. She also currently has a Kickstarter for her new book. which you can go check out if you want to. But I totally recommend this book to read. It's so much fun. Simple, nice little read, but the characters are funny, it's modern, it's a really fun book.